Stirring the coffee with chopsticks using the vortex method, the only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee. At the molecular level. At the molecular level. See, I'm out of practice. Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started, but first, Guatemalan coffee made cowboy coffee style. Perfect. Perfect. More floral than Ethiopian. It's not as earthy, but it's good. I like it. A little bit of cream in there, a touch of honey. I'm good. One properly trained citizen or a pastor with a licensed firearm can bring a fatality number down significantly. You can't be sitting ducks in church or your place of worship, no matter what it is. Two armed citizens, even better. Everyone armed and trained, ideal. A killer or somebody wanting to inflict a lot of damage and horror and terror in a church, in a crowd, receiving 20 rounds to the chest by appropriately responding citizens rather than police responding with body bags and chalk lines or tape lines. I would much rather see a expired perpetrator than a pile of victims. Pastors, listen to me. Protect your flock or get the flock out. Look at yourself in the mirror today and ask, what do I want to do every day for the rest of my life? You already know. Now go do that thing. What is keeping you from doing that thing? What is keeping you in the holding pattern? Are you waiting for the air traffic controller in your head to say you are now cleared for takeoff? Or you can now land? What's keeping you from doing it? Why are you stuck? Why are you stuck? Do you want to get out of a relationship but don't know how to do it? Or as some people would say, don't have the balls to do it? I'm not one of those guys. Nobody ever gets anywhere by shaming other people. It's a popular thing today, isn't it, on the web? Buy my course or you're a pussy. Continue to be a pussy. Okay. All right. All right, Mr. Rogers. What's keeping you from doing the things that you want to do? 9 times out of 10, it's you. You create the conditions where you move forward. You create those conditions. Now you can work with somebody, and that's what I've done for so long, helping people behind the scenes move forward. So I'll say it again, look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, what do I want to do every day for the rest of my life? Answer that question. Now go do that thing. It can be done. People with less ambition than you have done that already. I love the word codswallop. You know, when you say something and someone says bullshit. In the 19th century, there were words for that. People would say horse feathers, baloney. One of those response words of disbelief would be codswallop. Bunkum. That's a bunch of bunkum. That's a load of codswallop. There was a movie that I saw, maybe it was on Netflix, called The Masked Saint. Did you ever see it? It's with Roddy Piper. One of my favorite scenes. He saves a store owner from a robbery and he just beats the bad guy. And the bad guy says, "Who are you?" And his response is, "I'm the good guy." If you haven't seen The Masked Saint, see it. It's okay for the family to watch. I guess in the future I will tell you if a movie is family friendly or not. I never grew up knowing what was family friendly or not. Even as a young man, I was going to see like Dirty Harry, Clint Eastwood, a lot of these movies. So I had no line. There was no line for what was family friendly or not. And I grew up going to drive-in movies. We went to the drive-ins a lot when I was a kid, which was always fun. And I enjoyed taking the lawn chair and putting it outside the car and watching the movie alone, and not with the family, alone from my lawn chair, just eating popcorn. Elliot Sturman sends me a video, a report of a woman who she lost her teeth during pregnancy, and she did a video that shows kind of an unattractive woman and the transformation that she has to kind of like this visually appealing woman. Apparently she got kicked off of TikTok. How do you get kicked off of TikTok? First of all, why would you have TikTok? That's what I want to know. Number two, she got kicked off of TikTok for false advertising because she really looks one way. They're calling her the toothless catfish. But when she's all done up in the false eyelashes and she puts her teeth in and does her hair and makeup, she looks completely different. Imagine some of you guys that are still into picking up women, imagine taking home one and waking up with the other. Good for you. Don't forget, tonight is the second reading, part 2 of H.G. Wells' Time Machine. I'll probably go live at about 7 o'clock Eastern Time and read a couple chapters in The Time Machine, classic science fiction from the father of science fiction. Now listen closely to this story. I am part of several forums, professional forums in the aesthetics industry. As you know, I cut hair. It's my trade that I do 1 or 2 days a week. I love it. Everyone needs a profession and a trade. I don't care if you learn how to be a carpenter, a plumber, a welder. Do it 1 day a week. Do it 2 days a week. Even if you're a lawyer or a doctor, it doesn't matter. If you're an airline pilot, have a trade. Every man should have a trade. Learn it, as my grandfather would say. Every man needs something he can do with his hands. That's important. This is from a forum, an esthetician's forum. Esthetician is a person that helps people with their skin. People were moaning and groaning about how bad the esthetician industry is. This was her response, which I think is very inspiring. What an interesting post. I am a 10-year esthetician who started my own high-end boutique practice 10 years ago. My income will be over $250,000 this year for the 7th year. I'm a sole esthetician. I work by myself with 1 office assistant. 45% treatments, 55% product, which proves my point that product and service go hand in hand. Just always, if you want to create a side hustle, just think product and service, product and service, product and service. I agree with having a good education, but truthfully, I went to a terrible school. Understand that your real education starts after you become licensed. I research continuously, I train relentlessly, and understand that each time I walk into a treatment room, my goal is to help clients build better skin. I do not do what everyone else does. I have built my own treatment protocols that have extraordinary results. I take before and after pictures. I work incredibly hard. Never do I work fewer than 50 hours a week, and there's many weeks that I work more than that. I sweep, vacuum, clean, and absolutely anything else that needs to be done to make my place a sanctuary and retreat for my clients, as well as a place of fabulous skincare. I have tried over and over to train other estheticians. Never have I had any success. They want to be paid a huge amount of money with zero risk. They absolutely don't want to be responsible to bring in any business. For all the people I have employed and tried to train, not one has ever brought a client in. Plus, they expect me to build my training schedule according to their schedule, and they're not willing to train outside of that which is convenient for them. I am older, and I have the distinct idea that they have all expected me to do all the work while they sit and wait for someone to show up. I've taken girls to international trainings, yet they never study on their own. Believe me, it's frustrating. If you want to be successful, realize that being an esthetician is a tough business. You need a variety of gifts, natural and developed. Don't do what everyone else does. Don't sell the same products as everyone else. And make yourself a part of your client's health and beautiful aging regimen. Just words of wisdom from someone who has been wildly successful in the field of aesthetics. She is not lying, my friends. Sometimes the phrase do the work is overdone, and you kind of get sick of it, but this right here is the embodiment of that phrase. Behind every successful person is a heck of a lot of work that you didn't see, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that they put in that you didn't see. But all you see is, wow, they sure got lucky. They must have gotten a break. Things always work out well for other people, not for me. I'm not that lucky, you say. One of my subscribers, Steve, thank you, Steve, ahead of time, thank you, was delivering mail. He's a mailman. And on an envelope was my picture. It's for a health insurance product. So the commercial that I did last year for a healthcare insurance company, they created several products out of those videos and pictures. And one of the latest is a picture of just me smiling and clapping. That's it. And also I am on when you go to their webpage, I'm the guy with the fake wife on their webpage. It's been an interesting part-time career for me, very part-time. I remember I did commercial acting for 5 years. It was the 5 brokest years of my life. God knows I tried. One of the things I got tired of was being involved in things where other people got to make decisions for me. So when you're doing acting or modeling, and you don't have to be beautiful or handsome to do acting or modeling. If you're watching television, which I hope you're not anymore, but if you're doing commercial work, or if you're watching TV or reading ads in magazines, the guy who has the apron on in the hardware store, the guy driving the forklift, they're not handsome, they're not beautiful, they're just regular people. So when I say I was a commercial actor and a commercial model, that's what I'm talking about. A lifestyle actor, a lifestyle model, not a fashion model. There's a big difference. There's more room if you're ever thinking of going into that field, doing it part-time or however you choose to be involved. There's more work as an everyday person, as the guy or gal next door. There's more work for you if you are average looking. I capitalized on being average looking. I tried not to be a fashion guy because I knew I couldn't compete in that area. I wasn't an athletic model. I couldn't compete in that area. I was the everyday commercial actor, everyday commercial model. I was the guy driving through a car wash. I was a guy pushing a shopping cart in a Walmart, in a supermarket. That was me. I was the clerk putting apples in the produce department. I did so many of these roles, hoping just to hit the lottery, hit the big one. I tried, but the problem was it's other people who determine your success in that field. And that's why I quit. I literally had to know when to say when and move to something where I have more control over my income. There are times where you will get one job after another and you're doing really well. And it creates a delusion, like, wow, I'm really hot. I'm on my way up. In that field, it goes like this. When you're hot, you're hot. And when you're not, you're not. And I had more not than hot. So I left. And I was tired of standing in audition lines and wasting money and taking days off from work to go to New York to audition. And God knows I auditioned for everything. Everything. And I had an agent that sent me out for everything. So for some of you who want to go into that field, it's good to dabble in it. It's good. It teaches you resiliency. It teaches you how to get your hopes up and then get smashed. The most important thing is what you do after you get let down, after you get smashed, after you lose. How do you act after you lose? In that field, I did a heck of a lot of losing. I heard a heck of a lot of no's. You hear no much more than you hear yes. And sure, you react to having the phone ring and you're getting the job and you're talking to a casting director who says, "We would love to have you." But what happens more often than not is the phone doesn't ring. They don't tell you, they don't call. It's not like an employer where they say, "Although your qualifications are impressive, we have chosen to go in another direction with another candidate." You know, like when you apply for a job. That doesn't happen in the acting and modeling world. You know what happens? Nothing. Nothing happens in the acting and modeling. You hear nothing. The phone does not ring. And you have to get used to that. It's tough. Take my word for it. It's tough. Don't think you can make a living doing it. You can start and it'll be a nice supplemental income. And you'll get to the point where you have a reputation where there are direct bookings where you no longer have to audition. They just choose you based upon a couple video reels, upon your look. For instance, when I had dark hair and I was young and muscular and handsome, well, I got some callbacks. It was good. As I got a little bit older, a little salt and peppery, the phone didn't ring at all. And as I got, I don't want to say old and ugly, but old and very average, when my hair turned gray, all of a sudden the phone started ringing again. But I went from being a father, a single guy or a father, to being a grandfather kind of figure. So I started playing roles like a doctor, a pharmacist, those kind of things, a retiree, an older, part of an older couple. So is your look marketable? There will be seasons in your modeling and acting career that you can't explain. That's why I say when you're hot, you're hot. When you're not, you're not. Just a little advice for those that have ever thought of going into that field. Do it part-time, do it without expectations, and you can enjoy it. If you put too much pressure on yourself and spend too much money on headshots and wardrobe and all this kind of stuff, it can be a real letdown. What you learn from it is that you have to make your own path. And you can't wait for people to promote you, find you. You're not going to be found. All of that nonsense. 1 in a million are found. I hope that helps. Here's a question that I ask you about once a month. How long will you watch others do what you've been wanting to do? You know who you are, and you know who those people are who are doing what you want to do. But you're in their audience. You're watching them. How long are you going to watch other people do what you want to do? Do you want to write a book? You keep watching people who are writing books and profiting, ebooks and courses and videos. You keep watching YouTube channels of people that did it. I have to check the date of when my growth happened on YouTube. For the longest time, I didn't have any growth at all. I was fortunate in that surf was up when I first started as a men's grooming channel. And I had the beard and I grew the beard out, and that's when beards were getting really huge and there was a lot of beard and men's grooming content on the web. I just happened to have a gray beard, which just makes it more of a spectacle. And I was fortunate in that sense. Starting a YouTube channel now, if I did the same thing now that I did then, I would barely have 1,000 subscribers. It's just not hot. So you have to try different things. This is, I think, my 3rd YouTube channel. And I've tried in the past, and I've deleted a lot of things because they didn't work. If something works, you do it. If something doesn't work, you stop it. Why do you continue doing something that doesn't work? That's good advice for life. If it works, do it. If it doesn't work, stop it. There's no glory in continuing something that's not providing income for you. Some people say, do what you love and the money will follow. That's a bunch of codswallop and bunkum and guff. Do what makes money and the money will follow. Your hopes and dreams for a YouTube channel supporting you, those days are over. There's a lot of competition out there. Well, first of all, you're always going to have competition, but it's not like it used to be. There's no rising stars. You're not going to get 1 million followers, subscribers in a short period of time. There is a saturation point, so choose something else. The boss arrived at work in a brand new Ferrari. The employee said, wow, that's a nice car. The boss says, well, if you work hard, put all your hours in, and you strive for excellence, I'll be able to get another one next year. How true is that? Do you ever notice the guy that you work for always drives a better car than you, takes bigger and longer vacations than you? How long will it take before you kind of do the math and see that you need to do something different in order to get ahead in life? Your life's not going to get better if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. You got to break out of the circle. Everything you want is outside of your comfort zone. Everything. And the closer you get to the edge of your comfort zone, the more uncomfortable you're going to feel and the more uncertain you're going to feel. You need to become comfortable with uncertainty. Live in the realm or on the edge of uncertainty at all times. Your peace comes from you working hard, not from taking the pulse of certainty. Success comes from being comfortable with uncertainty and taking risk, period. There's no other way to do it. That being said, if you don't build your dream, there's always going to be someone else who will hire you to build theirs. And with that, finish your coffee, and I'll see you next Friday, next week, on the Daybreak Show, your home of sanity, clarity, and reason.
My name is Erin. I use she, her pronouns, and I am this.
I cruise down the street like a free rider. New shoes on my feet like a free rider. And I move to the beat like a free rider. And I scoot through the week like a free rider. And I scoot through the week like a free rider. Got my new shoes on my feet like a free rider. And I move to the beat like a free rider. Yeah, and I scoot through the week like a free rider. Like a free rider. Like a free rider. Like a free rider. Like a free rider.
Deep in the shadows, I know it's hard to put one foot in front of the other. So far is the echo, where do we start? You can learn to discover a million stars. Here in the shadows, I know you're scared. Take my hand, together we'll make a stand. We've got to fight to find a way. Dare to fall to find out what to say. no more hate. Just admit that you're just afraid. Time to let go of all your fears and pride. Stand up beside me, don't you hide. We can build a better place. If we can just find a way, then we can live a better day. Rise from the ashes, from the anger, from the war. Let's come together, lift your spirit for the cause. We should be equal, should be living free. All together, one and all, let's build a dream. Just admit that you're just afraid. Let go of all your fears and pride. Stand up beside me, don't you hide. We can build a better place. If we can just find a way, then we can live a better day. 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 Rise from the ashes, from the anger, from the war. Let's come together, lift your spirit for the cause. We should be equal, should be living free. All together, one and all. All together, one and all. All together, one and all. Let's live a better day.